Today's episode of Beyond Business is brought to you by Aerial Elite Solutions, your Midwest leader in drone-based thermal inspections, aerial data collection, and aerial imagery. Whether it's solar fields, power lines, or construction projects, or real estate shots, they provide high-quality imaging that keeps your operations running smoothly. Visit flyaes.com to learn more. Midwest Lightning Rods. When it comes to protecting your home or business from lightning strikes, trust the experts. We've got the installations and the expertise to safeguard what matters most. Head over to lightningstrikes.weprotect.com for more details. This episode has been fueled by Best Friends Distillery, a local woman-owned distillery crafting fine vodka and rum right here in Argenta, Illinois. Raise a glass to quality spirits made with passion, and cheers to supporting local. And shout out to the ladies at Best Friends for steady support in the podcast, providing me with swag. You guys are dynamite. Your product's dynamite. Thank you very much. Now, let's get into today's episode, which is a really good one with D-Town native, current restaurant owner, and about to be multiple restaurant owner. A good buddy of mine. You guys are going to enjoy this. There's Kostaki.
Welcome to Beyond Business, where stories come alive. With guests from every corner, we're ready to dive. New episode every 5 days, new voices to share. Laughs and insights, we're all in this affair. Beyond Business, come take a seat. Join the conversation, it's a journey that's sweet. Life lessons learned and laughter from the heart. With every episode, we're making a start.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Beyond Business. Joining me today is a lifelong entrepreneur, a buddy of mine, and somebody that a lot of people know. They just haven't seen him. Where's home?
Kansas City.
Okay.
We currently live in Overland Park, Kansas. It's a suburb, south suburb
That's
of Kansas
been that
City.
way you've been to Kansas City for a bit, right?
We moved up here in 2021, I believe.
Okay.
Took a little bit to find a spot, and we opened up our first Pappo's May 1st of 23. So a little over 2 years, jamming right along.
So you guys moved what took you there?
So, as a lot of people in Decatur know, I was a traveling bartender for a while. I was going to the Virgin Islands in the winters, Lake of the Ozarks in the summers. I met Casey. She worked at Pappo's. Pappo was expanding at that time, and we found
So
out.
she was already involved with the restaurant. Like that's how you got introduced to the restaurant, at
Yeah,
least,
I
or
mean,
the chain.
I met her at Pappo's because she was bartending, and I lived right down the street. And so when I would get off work, that was like my stop on the way home.
Sure.
And her and I, we would just, like any regular, you're just talking about music and books and what you do. And um yeah, it ended up, we just ended up started dating, and I went back to the islands one more time for one season, and I came back, and then I decided to stay. And around that same time, Pappo opened up the store in Columbia. So like half the staff moved up to Columbia. And so I said, hey, if you guys need help, I can bartend. But I wouldn't want to bartend, like that's Casey's thing. I'm not trying to get involved in
Right.
Pappo, right? And we were there. So then I was working Sunday nights, and then they were like, "Oh, can you help out this Tuesday?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then there was like, "Can you help out Thursday?" And then somebody called in, "Can you come in and work?" And then pretty soon you're working 4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah, yeah.
And Pappo
But
came in when Pappo called me and said, "Hey, I'd love to
okay,
sit
so
down
you're
and talk."
referring to Papo like he's a dude that you know.
He's a person. He's a real guy.
Okay,
His
okay.
his name is Christopher Galloway.
I
Here, this
got
is
you.
this is him on the back.
Okay, okay. But he's a dude that I mean you've met, and obviously, I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's a real person. His name's Christopher Galloway. He's half Irish, half Italian.
Okay.
Um, he owned 32 franchises of a very large pizza from a very large pizza company. And when they started shortcutting all their things, he said, "You know what? I don't want to do this. I want like if I'm serving pizza, it's going to be fresh. We're going to do real ingredients. I don't want to take all these shortcuts." And so he left that company, and after his non-compete was over, he got back in the pizza business, and that started Pappo's. And so
Oh,
it's
so
about
he learned the industry from the inside and then was like corrected it for himself.
yeah, exactly. And
Beautiful.
now
Beautiful idea.
like yeah, and he wants to grow it, and it's just nice, slow, organic growth. And
So how many restaurants are there?
okay, so Pappo himself owns Branson, two in Springfield, Missouri, the Osage Beach in Lake of the Ozarks, Camdenton in Lake of the Ozarks, St. Roberts, Jefferson City, and Columbia. So he's got eight that are currently open, and he has a lease on two more spaces now. Then his brother is another franchisee. He owns one in Fairview Heights, Illinois, so
Okay.
just on the other side of the river from St. Louis.
Yep.
And then his son is the third franchisee, and he has Huntsville, Alabama. And so
Oh,
he's got
damn.
one down there, and he just signed a he they just signed a lease on a second store, and then Space Force is going down there, so
Oh, yeah.
30,000 more people moving into that area. So that'll be good.
Oh, yeah. They turn a bunch of empty, a lot of nothing into a ton of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2023, you and your girl go, you know what? Let's stop working at this dude's restaurant and buy our own.
Well, so 2020, so Papo came to me, and he said, I've heard a lot of great things from my regulars. As I'm expanding, I really need good people, and I would love for you to go back in the kitchen and learn how to do everything in the kitchen so I can send you to other stores. And I said, yeah, I've never worked, me, I'm front of the house in the Lincoln Lounge
Right.
since I was a teenager.
Right.
I've never worked in a kitchen. And I said, you know what, I'll give that a try. So I went
What,
back, I
just
learned
so you
how to
would
do
know everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the
Yeah.
from ordering the food to when it comes in to cooking all the ingredients, everything.
Gotcha.
So Papo ended up, and we just thought that he was going to open stores on his own, and there
Right.
wasn't going to be any franchisees. Like that seemed like that was the progression it was going. And then a guy from outside the company ended up coming in and opening up a store, opening up a franchise store in Quincy, Illinois. So we get home one night, and Casey's like, I've just been thinking about the store in Quincy. Like, if somebody else can open up a franchise, how come we can't? So we called Papo up and said, "Hey, meet us for breakfast." And we said, "Hey, we would love to, we'd love to open our own store, and if we could, we really would like to go to Kansas City. What do you think the possibilities of that are?" And he said, that's all I've really ever wanted for you guys. I wanted you to know the business inside and out so you could do that. He's like, but I could
Oh.
never tell you to do it. Like you had to get to that point on your own. And he's like, yeah, you go to Kansas City, you can have the whole, that'll be your area, and you'll be able to open 6 to 8 stores and you'll be successful. So
Oh,
go
so
for
that like possibly uncomfortable conversation was really he's going, oh, yeah, but let's go. About
it.
time.
Yeah, let's do it. And then
What, so
since
you personally opened that store and now you're opening up another Papo's.
yeah. Yeah. So these are our stores. And just like
Okay.
any other franchise, you got to kick some back to the big guy.
Sure.
And
Is that all it is? Is it a percentage? Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Um
And so do they advertise for you and all that? Is it like that? Or do you
it's
have
it's
to?
coming along. So it really is still like a mom and pop. Like you asked if I know Papo, like still sending memes back and forth,
Oh, I got you. I
Like
got
it's
you.
very close. It's very mom and pop. If he's making a decision, he will call Casey and I and be like, "How will this affect you? Do you think we should do this? Like,
Okay.
what direction do you think we should go with this? Or like
I mean, it
pricing?"
is a partnership. But it isn't like you're working for the guy. I mean, at this point,
Right. I mean, we are working for him because we always got to kick something back.
well, sure.
But he's also he's like, do whatever you guys do that's best for your company. And
Right.
like that's the way he talks about it. He's like, it's your company. It's his ingredients, our
Yeah.
play,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
as we go forward, we can, we pick the spots. He has to approve things. Like that's another thing as part of the franchisee. He has to come in and um him being
Oh
the
yeah, you
franchise.
can't just start winging, making shit up and putting it on the menu. Right, right.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah,
nor do I want to.
yeah, exactly. And like locations, he has to come and approve locations. But every time we call, like when we called him, we're like, "This is where we're going." He's like, "Oh yeah, no brainer." It's because we're the same thought process.
Oh right, he's going. You're not going to send yourself off and make a
Yeah,
bad move for you would be a terrible move for you. So,
yeah. It would be. I'm like trying to think of a place in Decatur that like I don't, but I don't want to talk bad about any street in Decatur.
oh, there's no bad ones. What are you talking? I'm trying to find this thing I sent you because for I've sent you several messages, and then I realized I didn't have your phone number right.
Hmm.
Like over the years, randomly, something that made me think of you, I would send it. Well,
And you don't have my number.
I was sending it to a number maybe I used to have for you. Damn it, where is it? Did you? You didn't never get a video of me walking into a Pappo's Pizza?
No.
Okay, I definitely filmed the video going, my boy Spot, I'm about to check this shit out. And it wasn't yours.
Was it in
I want to
Sandy
say
Heights, probably?
Osage. I want to say it was in
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The
yeah,
lake.
yeah. It was just a random I was working and it was like, wait a minute. I know this place. I'm
Yeah,
going. Yeah, it was
you could
just
have run in. You could have run into Chris there because he was there more than I was.
yeah. Well, so
Yeah.
I guess that's what I was going to ask you. I remember, and I don't know how watered down it was or whatever, but um, oh, there's your number. There's your okay. It's not the one I have. Uh, but I remember he had his sights at least for a bit there set on coming back out that way because you guys were like I
Hmm.
guess the plan has been to have some stores. Is that true?
Well, yeah. And
I
so
mean,
like
are you
once,
still trying to have more than two?
oh, we're gonna. I mean, honestly, it goes back and forth. Like right now, we're like in the throes of like trying to get this store open, and Casey's like my partner through and through, like in business, romantic, like everything. Like
Right.
she's my go-to. And
You lucked out there,
her
huh?
anxiety is always a little bit more than mine, where I'm just like, like let's just go do it. We'll crush it. And she's like currently she's like, but well, let me take that. But 3 months ago, she was like, we're done at number two. We're not opening anymore. And now it's slowly gotten back into, okay, we could open a third store. And so it'll
Right.
increase here. Like as the store opens up and it starts doing well, she'll be like, oh yeah, you're right. 6 to 8 stores in Kansas City would be great. And
It's
so
a big area,
it's
right?
yeah, there's like 2.5 million people in
Oh,
the metro. And it reaches, I mean, we're not very far from Lawrence, so that's a college town. Like I went to school at KU, so going to Lawrence wouldn't be difficult. Um,
and now are these is like the trick getting good? Do you manage them
well,
at
like
all?
100%. Like we were
Okay.
there, like when we first opened up, it was, 100-hour weeks doing the
Fuck.
grind,
Oh
doing
yeah.
everything. And then it's really, paying a manager
A good
like
manager.
a good amount of money to make them happy and just making sure that they're doing the steps the exact same way that you would want to. So it took us, we were 2 years into it when we finally said, okay, we're naming a general manager and a kitchen manager. And so
Gotcha.
like, as we're not there so much, these are the people that you go and talk to. And I mean, we're still, we
But
still go in all the time, still go and help.
yeah, but I think that delegation has got to be the biggest thing that would allow you to have more restaurants. I mean, you can't
It's
physically manage five
Mhm.
restaurants or whatever, or even two. Shit.
You have to have the processes in place to say this is what happened. Like from the moment somebody walks in that door, this is how the store is run until the last person walks out. You need to have all of that like down and say this is the way that I want it. And so that when you walk in, because it took me a long time to be, the Lincoln Lounge, like my dad, like dad or Uncle Jim was there every day, from the time it
Right.
opened till the time it closed. And they were like, this is the way that you run a restaurant. And then then as I got older and I wanted to expand, because you just want to do better than your parents. You want to do
Sure.
a little something more.
Sure.
It was like, how do you wrap your head around that? And so then, what you do is you go and you learn from other people. You get mentors that have multiple stores. You read books about people that do that have done these things. Like, how did they grow? I just read Shoe Dog with Phil Knight about
Okay.
Nike and how it
Yep.
grew. And it's a really interesting, it's really interesting. Like when Nike started, that dude was an accountant. Like
Right.
he kept his accounting job while he had one dude out there selling shoes because he's like, I can't pay my bills. What am I going to do?
Right.
You still got to grind until you figure it out. So you got to get to that mentality where you're like, okay, how do I go from one store to two stores to three stores? And really like all of my mentors and people that have multiple places have all said the second store is the most difficult because you're taking time away from your baby. Because that
Oh,
first store is your baby,
yeah.
you know?
You're creating a wedge. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so then that second store is gonna be tough because you're still like your mind is still there so much, but you're now you're starting to expand. And then the third store is a little bit easier, and then they
By the time
exponentially
you hit four, you're checking boxes and let's go.
you're looking at the numbers in the morning and making sure that the percentages are right. Like what are my food costs? What are the liquor costs? Where was labor at? And you're making sure like labor's tricky because you you want a low labor number, but you don't want too low of a labor number because we're in the hospitality business, right?
Right.
People have to be happy while they're there. And it's
Right.
not you have a low number because you don't have enough people to pump pizzas out. But if
Right.
somebody, somebody goes, a professional's go in for lunch, they got a half hour. You got to
Yeah.
get in and get out. So you got to have a ton of people, and you have to have in the back, and you got to have a ton of people out front. So they're
To take care.
refilling those iced teas. Like,
So is this might be a dumbass question actually, but is it Kansas City? What am I trying to ask? Do people not want to work there too? Like we're
no,
literally, I don't know if you're aware, but there's places that I mean have closed their doors not because there's not customers, but because there's not people.
there's not people to work.
Yeah,
We don't. I don't see that so much here, but we also pay pretty well. Like we start above the
it's
industry.
important.
Like, yeah, and so if you were to walk in, I know when we when we first opened up, and we were scrambling to find people, and you just hire any warm body.
Hell
I
yeah.
I went to a
You look like you've ate some pizza. Come on.
yeah, I literally went into a Domino's and I was like, hey, anybody like all you guys that are making pizzas right now, I'm opening up a pizza place. I said, I'm not trying to steal you, but if you want extra work, I'll take it. And the manager came out and said, you can't talk to those guys. Those are like that's my crew. Like you can't steal my crew. And I said, how much does Domino's pay you? And he
Yeah,
said
no
$60
shit.
an hour. I said, I'll pay you more than that right now. Just come on, let's
Yeah,
go.
bring your team.
Yeah, you ready? I'm ready to make pizzas. And so,
Matter of fact, let's get the signage changed on the outside of this Domino's. We're taking
yeah,
this shit.
let's get some paint in here. We'll clean this up, change the ovens out. We'll be good.
Hell no.
But I do feel that what's funny is I find that young kids, like the 14, 15, 16-year-olds that can't really do a lot, they are very eager to work. And
Oh,
then and then there's that little like 20 to 22, 25 maybe that they're like, I'm good. I don't need to do anything. I still got, my mom's
that's
paying
crazy.
my car
It's
insurance. And you're
crazy.
like, all right, well, good luck with that. And then we have, older people that I got one of my best employees was an IT guy and he had lost his job and he was delivering DoorDash and he came in and asked if we were hiring. He said, when I was 18, working this pizza place was my favorite job. He said, I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to cook or anything, but I was like, in back then, every warm body that's coming in. Now that guy has, he's got a key, gets there at 6 o'clock in the morning. He makes the dough. He makes the bread fresh every day.
Right.
He's doing all this because if they come in, we're going to take care of you.
Well,
You
you're
know,
giving them a career, then it sounds like not just kind of a gig. I mean, of course, there's the little gig spots because
yeah,
you need part-time servers, you need shit like that. But I think that's it to have the whole idea of, yeah, you're creating good lives for people. Well, I think so. That's what I used to always try to do, even when hiring people for me, is I look at not even necessarily them, but what is your responsibilities? Like if you have some responsibilities, if you got a new baby, or then you're going to fucking come to work. you know?
yeah, yeah.
But I feel like in the last few years, like I honestly don't know how people are getting by. Everything's so expensive and less people work than ever. So I'm just like, what the fuck is
It is
going?
it is a little crazy, but like I mean, we
What's
constantly have
good for
if we
you
put a
though?
job up on Indeed, if people are like, yes, I want to work there, and then so we opened May 1st, 2023, right? So 2.5 years ago, there was two people that were there on opening day that are still with us, and our staff is 35 people. Uh,
Okay.
so, but we had a huge turnover right at the beginning because we would just hire anybody. Like, oh my God, like somebody
Right.
come here and like somebody's got to move something. Like,
Oh, so you went from hiring just anyone to now let's get some people that are going to fill the roles for a while
we're
and
gonna
are
we're gonna
good at
hire
it.
quality people, and then also I really do think it's about the atmosphere you create. Like it's very cliche to say we're family here, and I don't feel like we're family there, but it is a great place to work. And all of the people really enjoy being around each other. And if there's
Right.
somebody that comes in that's negative, like they're gone. We're
Right.
like, you're not rocking this boat. And now we've empowered our general manager, be like, if there's issues like that, if it's constantly somebody's like trying to change something that they feel should work better, get rid of them. They're done.
Right.
Like
Oh, so
the
you're
reason it works.
setting, I mean, so you're kind of, I guess, is are all of the Pappos that you've been to, not just the ones that you're involved in, do they all have that atmosphere that just feel
I think there's some that are better than others. There's definitely stores that cruise right along and have no issues whatsoever. And then
right?
there's stores that, the staffing is an issue, and it
Yeah.
probably does come from the top of that food chain.
Well, that's what I think I was wondering because it has to be like you're putting a playbook and, hey, you're having a shitty day. Sorry, you're a waitress today and you need to turn it around because people
Yeah.
are hungry. Well, maybe this is a dumbass comparison, but this is very, like, to me, it's very valid because they're here. So we all know that McDonald's fucking sucks. Their food sucks. Their service is terrible. I don't know. I don't know why or how, but they're huge. Walk into walk across the street and walk into Culver's. It's
Hmm.
like a bunch of college kids being polite and that are
They
working
love
there.
it. They love working there.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, how does
Yeah.
it sucks and it's the worst fucking ghetto ass restaurant in the fucking world right across the street making the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
amount of money. But I'm
I feel
like,
the same way. Culver's and Chick-fil-A. Like Chick-fil-A is like above and beyond. Like they're
yes,
so great. Like
yeah.
you walk
And
in,
you
they're like,
notice that
thank you
stuff though,
for
for
sure.
sure. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I
What is the
do. So when you're talking about, somebody's attitude coming in, so the guy that I was talking about, he was having a bad day, because he had lost his job trying to get back on it. That he didn't have anything. He was catching up on bills. People are calling him, asking him for money all the time, and he's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I said, well, the first thing you do is, did you see those hooks outside? And he said, what hooks? And I said, that's where you hang that bullshit. Like, don't bring that in here. Like, leave that stuff out there. We'll help you out. We'll figure this all out. More than happy to sit down with you. I was a Northwestern Mutual guy for a little while. Like, we can figure out a budget. We can figure all this stuff out for you. And then Casey wrote this little thing, and this is Costa's and I's goals, and this is what we want to do with Papos. And then tell us your goals. It doesn't have to be about Papos, but
vision
like
board style? Yeah.
vision board style. And if you want to talk to us about it, we'll sit down and talk to you about it. And so we like, let's say that we have 10 stores in the future. We're still not unaccessible. You would
Sure.
still be able to get to us to sit down and talk and say, you guys went from being, quote on just bartenders because everybody's like, oh, you're just a bartender. I'm like, well,
Sure.
let me explain to you how the bartending world works. And like,
Right.
I have a
Yeah.
pretty good life. And so
Right.
to go from being just a bartender to owning multiple restaurants, there's a blueprint. Like if that's what you want to
Yeah.
do.
What so is it have one again, this is me not really knowing. So you get a store, you
Hmm.
go through a year or two or whatever and go, okay, if we want to double our income, we open another store.
Yeah, basically. Or
And then essentially if we open a third one, then it's gonna keep, I mean, right?
yeah, that would be the goal, right?
I mean, I just
We
yeah,
always
but
want it to be better, but then there's also like we weren't, so when we wrote out our like what our goals were, our goal was at the end of year 3 to start looking for a second store. We're just ahead of where we need to be.
Fair enough.
And by chance, we've got a really good relationship with our commercial real estate guy. And he's just driving around. I saw something that was closed, and I called him up and I said, "Hey, I just saw that this just closed. Like, can you get us numbers on it? Like, we're
Are
doing,
you talking about an old restaurant or something?
an old restaurant."
Yeah.
And this is so when Chris passed away, um, hang on.
Yeah.
Anyways, when he passed away, Casey's great aunt also passed away. And so we were gone for 12 days.
hmm
And we didn't get one phone call saying that they needed help. Like we're we were like, okay, they know what they're doing. We could go look for a second space. So like something that's so sad, it was like propelled us forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Oh, so it wasn't like you guys came back and you had to clean up the shit show. You're like, no, that place ran exactly how it was supposed to because our
yeah,
team
it was
did
jamming right
exactly what
along.
they
Like
were
they
supposed to.
took care, yeah, they took care of it. It was great.
Yeah.
So, out of something that's like so sad and
Yeah.
like obviously still like
Ah,
crushes.
that's one of probably the only, we don't even have to talk about it that much, but that's the probably one of the only situations, as weird as it is, like I still look for him.
Oh yeah, yeah, for
It's
sure.
so weird. I mean, because every
Because he just pop up.
the places I
He
would
just pop
see
up.
him, yeah, I honestly, yeah. It's so,
And it's not, it's, there's times that'll be rough for me, but he was my right hand man. Like as far as
yeah.
operations is going to go, as we were opening stores, he knew he wanted to be close with Yorgos until Yorgos got out of high school, and so that's why he was back in Decatur. And
Oh
he was, and
yeah.
then he was going to come back, and he was going to be, making sure the stores are run right, making sure that they're run the way that I want them run, because he thinks the same way that I do for that restaurant kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Well, and you had like a special, I don't know if it was conversations that were had or what, but you were able to like keep Chris in, or maybe he didn't want to disappoint. Like you would be one of the people that he needs to be on his shit. Like
yeah,
he would come back from when he came back from you, it was like seeing a whole new guy. Like he was back to being a little bit
right,
more
right,
business minded than fucking bar hopping or whatever. You know what I'm saying? To where it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
this guy got focused again. Okay.
Yeah, and then him and Casey had a really special relationship too, and I think even more disappointing me, he would never want to disappoint her, and
Okay.
because he knew that obviously he's the built-in best friend. You like grow up, you like live in the same room for the first 12 years of your life,
Right.
but he knew that she was my best friend,
Yeah.
and so he knew that he couldn't that wedge there was no wedge coming between me and her. Like he had to be on the if he wanted to be involved,
It was going to be
me and
one big team.
we were yeah. This
Yeah.
is the team. If you want to be a part of it, you got to make sure that you're taking care of these me,
Right.
right? And so, like the goal would have been for, him to help with operations and at some point own percentages of stores for himself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it is.
Life's precious, brother. Never know, right? Mm.
I know.
So, is Yorgos out of high school?
He's a senior at St. T.
Okay. My son goes to St. T too. I don't know if I would know him. Fuck, I felt like when I seen Yorgos 2 years ago, he looked like he was 25.
I mean, I don't know how he's not the biggest kid there.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
He's probably, I bet he's either 6'5" or 6'6" now,
God.
and he's
Dude.
not little.
Do you know do you keep I don't know if you keep in touch enough to what's has
Yeah.
he got a plan after this? After is he going to school somewhere? He's going to work?
He's he does the industrial classes at St. T, and so like
Okay.
I know he like goes to shop and he enjoys that. but he also likes the restaurant business. Like I know he was working for Woody and he worked for Andrew and
Okay.
um, what's the barbecue joint out in Mount Zion?
Oh, Hickory River,
Not Hickory River.
Notorious PIG.
Maybe Notorious PIG or it's something that Woody was involved with.
Sure. Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
that'd be it. Yeah. The
um,
Sliders has Notorious PIG's food there or whatever the fuck.
gotcha. And so he was doing that. I know he works with Andrew sometimes too. And so I told him, I said, you can come work for us. You know,
Right.
he said, because he was out here he was just out here at the end of the summer before he went back to school. Um, and I told him that if he wanted to, he could come here. And then you know how kids are. A week later, he sends me a text like, if I came out there, what would I do? And I was like, you would do everything.
Yeah.
Like if you want to work with me, you got to learn the business from the bottom up, you know,
Yeah.
work in the dish pit, wait
Dude,
table.
you get to see this, and this is really interesting. I'm just curious on your take because you grew up probably washing some dishes and taking trash out and shit before you even understood you were helping. It was just what you had to do because you were there.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean? You grew up in the working world. So, do you find I know you have to interact with I guess I'm calling them youth, just young adults that,
Yeah, yeah, it's difficult.
oh my gosh, I can only imagine like the
Um,
coddling that has to happen. So is that your function or you or your wife? Which one of you are the ones that can looks at the other one and goes, not today, motherfucker, not
well,
today.
so the, one of the reasons that we had to name a general manager is because I'm your age. Like we do
Because
not connect with these 20-year-old kids, and if we say
oh,
something to them, it hurts their feelings. Like they they are they will
can't
go
imagine.
into they will go into a depression, and so and we I had a problem with these two young ladies that were working for me, and I wanted them to do A, B, C, and all they wanted to do was X, Y, Z. So I finally, and then Casey was like, listen, we need to name a general manager and you just tell them. So now, like, I go in and I see the things that I want changed
You
and
go
I don't,
tell on their ass.
I leave. I leave. And then I call and I say, hey, but make sure this is taken care of. And so, because you can't, it's not that you can't connect with them, it's that we see the world in a completely different way. We
Well,
go
and
in,
we respond to this day. If you and I were doing something and you're like, dude, grab the fucking blah blah blah. I would go
yeah,
grab the fucking blah blah blah.
like I'm not mad at you. I'm just
No.
yelling because this is
Yes.
my tone.
Yeah. Pick that shit up. No one's mad. It needed picked
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
And so,
No.
like, the guys that I have prepping
That's
in the dish,
hilarious. You're like, part of the manager's role is the fucking
deal with this stuff.
translator.
Yeah, 100%. Because otherwise, they would just all be in the walk-in crying the whole time.
You'd have to have a
Because
staff therapist.
yeah, for sure. Staff therapist. That would be Casey. But then Casey makes people cry too because she just hits home with they go and they tell her their goals and she lays it out for them and says you're gonna have to work. That's it. You got to work hard. And people don't like hearing that. And then they turn that corner and then they say, okay, I will work hard.
Right.
And then they become, I mean, the
Well, it's
goal
either a
is
maturity thing or an age thing, but
a
when you
necessity
actually are in a
thing.
spot where you work and you're rewarded for, I mean, I don't know if you've probably ever been cut from I mean, I don't think you're probably capable of like a 9 to 5 clock in, clock out, but I mean, you guys are building the people that you take in and you put on paths to where they're making good money, they're raising family. Like to
Yeah.
me, that is the ultimate reward of you guys are doing big things, whether we're stressed and got our plate full or not,
Hmm.
to create people who are
We're gonna make
living the
we're gonna
American
make
dream
millionaires.
because of you.
We're gonna make millionaires. Like
Right.
like
Right.
that's the goal. Like
That's
you
huge.
can have the nice house, you can have the family, you can do all this, you can go on vacation, just because it's the restaurant world doesn't mean like you're the bottom of the barrel of society. Like you actually have a purpose and you can do great things with your life.
Oh yeah.
Just pay. So we've got a girl who she started with us on day one. She was 14 years old and now she just turned 17. Um, and the other day, she's trying to change her family dynamic, the
Okay.
other day, not that I agree with this guy 100%, but I think he does lay a lot of good groundwork. But Dave Ramsey, I gave her the Dave Ramsey book, and I'm
Yep.
like, you need to read this. You need to get a budget. You need to pay attention to what you're doing. And let's keep moving forward. And she's my little girl that trains all the other hostesses. And now
Uh,
now she waits on tables too, so she's making a little bit more money, so she's feeling a little bit better.
hell
She's
yeah.
got her own car. She had to get an alternator the other day. She comes in, she has questions, but you know, that's a girl that I could see. She can do whatever she wants in the world. She could also work for us for the next 20 years
Right.
and run her own store in 5 years, like
Okay.
without a question, because when I tell her something, she listens and
It's
she builds
valuable.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I
and the
think,
other thing going in, like for me going in, because I am like, I'm the boss, you
yeah,
know, I, a lot of times they mess stuff up when I'm around just because they're nervous. And
100%.
it's just because, you're the boss and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, the boss is here. Like they tense up. I know 10 minutes before they were like, making pizzas and laughing and having fun and, knocking things out. Cause I look at the times that the pizzas get loaded. I know like
Yeah.
all of this stuff is happening. And then I walk in and there's like three pizzas get messed up in a row. And you're like, are you reading the screens? And if I wouldn't have showed up, they would have read the screens. They would have been fine. They would have done a great job.
Right. You're
So
going, hey, wait, I like fun too.
yeah, yeah,
I like jokes.
yeah. What movies were you talking about? I see
Yeah.
movies. I,
Yeah.
I watch movies.
Or they're like, everybody's kind of down. Only when you're here, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're like, can you leave?
Well, it's the same
Just
thing on like on construction sites, right? It'll be
Mhm.
every Tuesday. These guys are going to start walking around the site. They're going to have white, really clean hard hats on, khakis, clean boots, probably dress shoes. And everyone's going to kind of not work. They're just going to
Yeah,
kind of stand there and not break any rules.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But from Tuesday to 6 a.m. to 11 a.m., there's not going to be shit done. Everyone's just trying to not fuck up. That's it.
yeah.
you know, but same
And
deal is
as soon as those guys leave, you're like, hey, throw me a hammer. You're
fuck
like,
off. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. We got 6 hours of work to make up for. Right?
yeah,
No, but I think that's
it's
also a respect. You know what I mean?
it
They
is, and you know
again,
what?
these
Like,
are people that don't want to fuck up.
and they know that there's a future if they don't.
Right.
And the other big thing is there's people that know that I can come in and do that job. Like,
Right.
like they're here to help Casey and I. I it's great that they're there. If somebody didn't show up, I'll go make pizzas. It's
Right.
it's not beneath me. If on
But
Friday
is
night,
the same? Is that the same with your manager? Like, is it like
oh
that?
yeah, oh they'll
Okay.
jump in. They'll jump in if they
Okay.
need to. And like our general manager, Alex she does a great job. She's a front of house person, but we told her if you want to be a general manager, you need to learn how to do all this stuff in the back. So she came in, started doing prep shifts, goes back, go
Because
back
that's
and
it. I think in the restaurant world, I mean, right or wrong, it's who the fuck showed up for their shift has nothing to do with who's showing up to eat.
right,
You know
right.
what I mean? Like we can't decide to close because Johnny decided he didn't want to cook anymore.
Somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to go do
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I washed
yeah.
dishes Friday night for 2.5 hours, but those people they see me doing that, and they're like, if it's not beneath him to go and do that,
Damn
or
right.
climbing underneath the dish pit to spray all that stuff out, because you're like, hey man, like this is on the checklist to get done once a week, and I know that it hasn't been done because there's like
Right.
there's mold, like all that stuff gets
Yeah.
wet. But somebody's got to get down there and clean it, and they see me do it, and then I don't have to worry about it for the next 3 months
Yes. Because it's
because they
part of
look
their
at me
deal.
like, he did it. I should do it too.
Right. So it's by example. Well,
Hmm.
I think that is so much better than, yeah, that's not really my job description. It's, yeah, it's
Yeah.
not my job description. That's why I asked. It was like that would just be well, you got a
Oh, no,
team.
you,
I think you know the importance of it. So when you look back, because now you're even seeing more than ever, when it used to be when you guys took over or when you guys had the Lincoln and the Cornerstone, you both worked 9 days a week somehow.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
like you're here and then we switch at night and day. You know what I mean? So you guys are both working 14-hour shifts.
Yeah,
One would start here and in there. So isn't it crazy now though you look back and go, well, we were doing that because we were first, you don't want to put someone on the payroll if you're available to do it. And then
right.
you go, wait a minute. The best
Well,
thing ever could have probably been go, you know what? Let me just let somebody run this fucking place. You're
but
right.
you
I
know
mean,
that's the mentality switch because it was like I still had my dad's mentality where like the
yeah,
needed to be there to make sure, and and the world has completely changed.
for sure.
My dad, Dad and Uncle Jim, that not one credit card, not one card ever got swiped at the Lincoln. It was 100% cash until my dad passed away.
Uh, Give it a
And
year and you
so,
won't be able to use cash.
right, right. And so think about that. Like, I don't have to worry about people still stealing from the till. There's no money in there.
Well,
And so
yeah.
now you don't have to be there to watch to make sure they're ringing everything in. It's all electronic. You know the table. Like if somebody discounts something, I
You
know
see it.
I know what table it was, why it was discounted, and who discounted it and who approved it. So if it's something like crazy, I can like the other day there was double makers were ringing in at like $24 or something crazy. And so there was like $86 that was discounted. Or $96 was discounted. And so I called Alex. I said, "Yo, what's the deal with this discount?" She was like, "Well, they were ringing up as this, so we had to discount that off." And
Gotcha.
so easy to do. Back in the day, you would have been like racking your brain, like,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
did this happen?
I
Where
didn't even
did this
think
go?
about that. You are getting so that would be the hard part about owning a bar or a restaurant or maybe the bar part of a restaurant is knowing that people are fucking stealing nonstop, even the good ones.
Always, always.
But I didn't even consider that. You do away with cash and it's like, well, there's nothing to throw in your pocket. I
I mean,
mean,
at that point,
you
the
can still
only
give away a drink, but that's not going to get, no one's going to slide you cash for a fucking drink. It's not like that.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Um,
And like you have, and my dad was a big guy. We were making drinks. He would make me use the jigger, and it had the line. And I can still hear him yelling at me from like across the restaurant, "To the line, motherfucker!" He could pour a little bit too much. That doesn't work because he knew his numbers. Like that bottle of Jim Beam is going to give me 17 shots, or if it's a liter, it's going to give me 22 shots. I need to have
oh,
22 shots out of that bottle to make my money. And so, that's why all of like our craft cocktails that we make, um, they use jiggers.
right.
They have to pour at these rates. And so
Well, and let's be honest. I mean, do you drink? Do you still, I don't, do you drink a lot or I don't
I
know.
mean,
Sure.
you're not my doctor. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I can't really think of any time in the last 5 or 10 years that it's like, this drinks are not strong enough. I need to get there quick. Like,
Right.
I'm a little bit past that. I'd like
Right.
to, yeah.
Right. And that's totally like that's not our scene. Like we're not like a
Right.
2 o'clock late night place.
They're just coming and having drinks to have pizza and we
We
got
have 32
games.
beers on draft.
Okay.
We have
Okay.
like 8 to 10 wines, and so the 32 beers on draft constantly rotate, and it's all craft beers. Well, now we actually we carry Coors Light, Ultra, and Modelo. But up until 3 months ago, and this was a discussion that we had with Pappo, up until 3 months ago, everything was craft, and then it was
Okay.
like, and then we like sat down and went through the numbers, and we're like, we're actually alienating a large percentage of the population that doesn't want to drink craft beers. And if we have 32 taps, give up 3 or 4 of them for
To let people have their beer.
get your Bud Light, get your Coors
Yeah.
Light.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what
There's
you
some
want to do.
faithful beer drinkers. There's
There
some
is
they don't want to
space.
try nothing fucking new and that, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then there's the people that come in that want to try, the new pumpkin beer that just came
Nothing
out,
but new shit. Right.
or this came out, or this new IPA's out, or this, and so we try to, you rotate it around. Um, but
Is it a
I
big bar? Is it a bar and a restaurant? Or is it
mhm.
like, yeah.
It's a bar and a restaurant. The majority of our money is coming from food sales.
Okay. A lot
The
of
beer is nice
pizza
to
delivery?
have. Do we what?
Deliver a lot?
Yeah, we do. And we actually deliver. So we use Toast as our POS. And so there's Toast delivery system. So Toast brokers out. And
Okay.
so it's usually a DoorDash guy comes and picks the pizzas up and delivers them for us. Which I mean, honestly, the people get better service because it's hot pizzas. Like if you had to hire drivers, how many drivers do you hire?
Right.
How
Yeah.
often are the drivers just sitting around doing nothing? And then when they're not sitting around doing nothing, they're taking five orders that it's going 15 minutes this way, 15 minutes that way. So people aren't getting their pizzas hot.
Right.
And so like the DoorDash, Grubhub, all that stuff has actually like created hotter, fresher food for people and
It's
that are
people
getting.
competing to bring you your shit quicker. That's
Mhm.
awesome. I
And
mean,
so, and then every now and again, somebody, we sell these amazing brown butter chocolate chip cookies, right?
okay.
And so somebody called the other day. They're like, "How many cookies are in an order?" I said, "Well, it's six or 12. How many did you order?" They're like, "Well, we thought we ordered six, but only five showed up." But we make them to order, so it's not like somebody messed up and only put five in the box. Like the driver ate one on the way.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I was like, all right, let me tell you, let me put a dozen cookies on your account for you. And sorry, that driver. Hey, do you want me to make you new pizzas? Did he eat a slice on the way
Yeah,
over?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It looks like the pepperonis were picked off half of this pizza.
Yeah,
That's fucking
exactly.
great. So, do you guys have poker machines in every fucking place you walk in that state?
So it's not legal in Missouri yet.
Okay. Are you in
But
Kansas or Missouri?
so I live in Kansas. The first store is in Missouri. The second store is in Kansas. So Kansas City is
It's right
split right
there.
down the
Yeah,
middle.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So they're not legal in Missouri. I don't think they're legal in Kansas either. There is gray machines, which is, the old illegal machines, like when you go into some places.
Yeah.
But it hasn't taken over yet. The reason it hasn't taken over yet is because
You said
um,
yet.
yet it's going to happen, right?
Oh, yeah. That's telling.
And so the reason that it hasn't taken over yet is because a Anheuser-Busch is here and they're like, we want you to, if you have a vice, you need to spend it on booze. So they've got a they got a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
And then the casinos have a huge amount of money. So like all those casinos in St. Louis and all the casinos in on the Kansas City River, they've got they have put a stop to it, but it's coming. They just passed sports gambling. So if they pass sports gambling,
Oh,
that's
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, I guess that's right. There's actually casinos that
hmm
yeah, I guess I didn't think about that. Dude, it's kind of ridiculous here, man. Every gas station, everything, dude.
It's
Everything.
crazy. It's crazy to walk into a gas station. Casey's family is up in Chicago, so we make our way there um, every few months, and you like stop at a truck stop to get gas and go to the bathroom. You walk in, and just dudes in there.
Yeah.
You're like, what are
Yeah.
you doing, man?
Dude, I'll go. Man, I wanted to stop and get something. How is the gas station crowded?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's 30 cars at the fucking gas station. You go in, you're like, are you kidding me? They're back there with tall boys. They fucking gambling. Like, oh shit.
love it.
Uh, yeah, I don't know.
Some of
I
them,
don't. I'm not. I know my string of luck doesn't exist like that, so I'm pretty good at not doing that.
yeah. I'd rather just work for my money. I work too hard for my money to give it to a machine.
I do like to see when people win. It makes me have that feeling like, should I try? No.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm playing Powerball right now, but that's
Well,
generational
you
money.
gotta try. Um, so in 5 years from now, Is it kind of going to be based on what Casey's feelings are, or if you had it your way 5 years from now, how many stores would you have?
In 5 years, we would
Can you do one a year?
um you could probably do one a year after you got past the third store.
Right. So you're on number
Because
two. You're working on number two, like it's gonna happen.
I just left an inspector because they had to check the grease traps to make sure that they were up to code. And then
So
I got
it's
to go.
it's on.
Yeah, it's on. We've got a lease. The architects have drawn it up. We got a bar coming. Like it's going down. So
What? So
store number two,
contractors roll in and do the damn
they're
thing.
just waiting for the permitting to get through the city. And so that'll jam right along. The thing is, like, like when you have one store, you're there all the time taking care of it. Then you have two stores, and now you got two general managers, right?
Yes.
When you get to three stores, you got three general managers, and you might have a
A
regional
regional.
manager.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
that person is running and doing the stuff that I will be doing for the three stores. And then once you open that fourth and fifth store, you got one person with five general managers underneath them. They're figuring their own stuff out. They only call when they actually really need something. I
Which
mean,
again, I mean, from the person cutting the check standpoint, of course it sucks going, man, having a potential six-figure um employee, adding one, that kind of sucks, but that is definitely necessary. Once you get to where some people are
you
worth
can't
their
buy
money.
time. Yeah.
No,
And,
that's
and
it.
so like and honestly, if you're paying a general manager, like we would pay a general manager, they would be able to get to six figures
Right.
with bonuses and
Sure.
everything else. If you're paying somebody that kind of money, like what kind of money are you making?
Right. For sure. For
But
sure.
but all the risk is on us still,
Yeah. 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 It's so funny though. I guess I never really looked at it. We kind of inherited the really uh, a back asswards way of work ethic of you have to be there, you have to do. I was taught the same thing to
Hmm.
where I went, fuck, most of even my adult life going, okay, I got ideas. I know how to make the deposit money be higher than the expenses, no question. But I have to be there.
Right. Right.
Every single thing. If I fucking go on vacation, then I'm going to lose money I'm not making and I'm going to spend money. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh no, well, we were taught that your
I mean, imagine
presence.
imagine a hypothetical where you own a business and it makes $150,000, right?
Yeah,
Pay somebody the 100 and you only make 50, right? What if you had 10 of those and you're
right.
making 500 and they make 100, they're doing great, but you're making 500, you don't do anything.
Right.
And
Right.
you have time to go and explore other avenues of
That's
things that you want
wealth.
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you start getting into like I'll give up a big piece for my own time.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
missing a kid's soccer game.
what I
You
think
know?
maybe that's it is experience and time and age, maturity, getting your ass kicked in the business world a little bit. But I think that's it. Eventually you go, oh, if you're good, you're worth more than me. And I'm going to
Hmm.
give it to you.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah. Like
yeah,
I tell people all the time, like I'll go in and I'll do prep and I knock it out and I do a great job. But I tell them like I only started working in the back of the house 5 years ago. Like I'll run circles around you in front in that bar. But back
right.
here, like I still like I value your opinion. If you tell me how to do this better, I'll listen to you. Like you you grew up working in a kitchen. That's what you wanted to do. Like that's why you're here because you're a kitchen guy. And
Right.
and like just stupid shit like 3 teaspoons is actually a tablespoon. Like I didn't have to do I didn't have to
Oh,
stick 6 teaspoons. It
you're
was
like,
just
what
two
the? Yeah.
tablespoons. Like, oh, oh,
I'll
I
be
wish I would have
damned.
known that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you try to stay? Does your manager ever come and go, hey, can you just stay the fuck out of here? We're busy and people fuck up when you're
They
here.
No, they haven't gotten to that point yet.
Oh, but you know what I mean? It's like, hey,
I'm
we're
sure they
slammed. Now is not the time, boss.
right. And like it's funny is the other day I was the day I was doing dishes and then I went and I was doing expo, so I'm pulling the pizzas out and cutting them. And I got ahead And I was like, oh, I'll go back and toss some dough to get them ahead. And I walked back there and I was like, I'm really just in the way.
Yeah.
I'll just go wash some dishes. Like I was doing a great job over there. Like,
Right. Right.
and you
Right.
know
Right.
that they don't want to tell you, can you just move? Like we got
Yeah.
our
They can't.
flow. Yeah.
Yeah. They can't say, hey,
Mm-mm.
man, I think someone's calling you in the front, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, I'm just trying to lead by example. They're like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, we've seen the example. It's great. And I joke with Casey all the time. I'm like, I really want, because if this works well in Kansas City, there's a few other cities in the Midwest that it would work very well also. And we'd probably send somebody off to go do it. But I would
Sure.
love to have enough stores where I could walk in someplace and they wouldn't know that I am who I am.
Yeah, that's
You know, you
cool
just
too.
you walk in, you sit down at the bar. I wouldn't rock Pappo's gear.
Sure.
I'd walk in with a Lincoln Lounge shirt. You know,
Yeah,
let me people
yeah.
get lucky since 1933.
Yeah, yeah. And what
And
and just get to know them and see what they're
how is it working here? You know, you
yeah,
just ask the
yeah.
bartender. The bartender wouldn't know, and then the GM would walk in and see me, and they would know me from a Zoom meeting.
That's
They would be
crazy,
like,
right?
oh,
Hey, who the fuck? Wait a minute. Right.
or
That's
or
great.
even like showing up at a store early in the morning with prep guys and say, "Hey, I just got hired. I'm supposed to do prep. Can you show me how
Like
you do
undercover
this?"
boss type
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would love it. And you
Yeah.
go in and be like, "How come you do it this way?" And they'd be like, "Oh, well, the boss said to do it this way, but I want to do it
Fuck
this way."
that.
And you're like,
Right.
"All right, all right."
I think Papo's this guy's dog's name. He's not even a real person.
Papa's a trip,
Well,
man. He's a fun guy to hang out with.
well, that's cool that I mean, what a odd way to fall into something that ended up being a life-changing career.
Well, like
A chick that was slinging drinks at a place that you would eventually start
and so it's
buying and building. What the
so
hell?
it's not really odd. This is the way that I look at it. It was years of networking and doing hard, good work that puts you in a position to be able to go and do this.
Yes.
Like so if I didn't love being a bartender and I wasn't good at my craft, I would have never had a job at the Lake of the Ozarks or in St. Thomas. And so, and to be able to, work at some place and have those guys calling and saying, "Can you come? Are you coming back next year? I'll pay you more money to come back." So you have those connections, and that was just hard work to get into that position. And then Casey started at Papa's. She walked in and Papa will tell you this story and like he gets goosebumps talking about it because he was there when she got interviewed and she walked out and he said, "Where's she going? Or what was she here for?" And they said, "Oh, she interviewed for a job." And he chased her down in the parking lot and said, "You need like come back in. Let's get you on the schedule. Like you don't have to wait
Really?
for a call back." Yeah. And
What? Just had a feeling.
you just had a feeling and then
Yeah.
she was a part-time waitress that worked her way into bar shifts, grew a great bar business at the Lake of the Ozarks at that Papo's to the point where she turned down being the general manager like three times because he kept being like, you run the place, just have the title. She's like, no, because I want to spend time with my son.
Right.
That life work balance is very important, and if you become a GM, kind of slides away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so finally she agreed, like finally, like, but that's when like we were together, so we had more time. And now once you
Yeah.
have a tag team and you're working together, like if Chris and I would have just stayed at the Lincoln, we would have it would have been a great life because we would have been tag teaming it. It wouldn't have
Right.
been like you said, how are you working 9 days a week? Because one of us is at the Cornerstone, one of us is
Right.
you just run into us all over the place. And we were out. Like
Yeah.
who knows when we were out drinking too.
Right. Right.
But so it's all of those like steps of we just worked hard. We worked on building a business. And whether it was our business or not, we took ownership in what we were doing. And if you don't take ownership in what you're doing, no matter what you do, like the two guys that just cleaned out this grease trap at the new spot, like that's the grossest job. It smells so bad. Like I would rather like into Shawshank climb through that 500 feet of that pipe and that poop than clean out a grease trap. It smells so bad. And those guys, they were just
Troopers.
friendly and happy to be there and doing a good job. And
Yeah.
they got paid and they're going home now. So,
Right, right. Well,
but that's
okay,
what it
it's
is.
interesting though, as you go, no, this wasn't just a coincidence. This was
No,
years, decades even of
of grinding.
networking, grinding. Yeah, yeah.
And
The
and
proof.
knowing how to do every piece of the business because you've had to,
Right.
like,
Well, and not being too good to learn. I think that's huge. Is
yeah,
not even that you're too good to learn, but you know what I'm saying is uh, there's a lot of people, maybe even me, that I would go, yeah, I don't know how to fucking cook and I'm not going in the kitchen. I don't do that. But it is like,
right,
well, you don't own a restaurant then, motherfucker.
yeah. Or like teaching, like teaching the general manager, like you don't have to call somebody for this. There's a screwdriver. Like
Right.
this, these are
Be
this is a
fixers.
simple thing. Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
fix these things and until it's so broke that you have to call in a technician.
Right. Right.
Until it gets to that point, or until you're losing money because of it,
Right.
then call the guy that cost the real money to come in and fix it. But
Well, again, we kind of grew up
mhm.
ripping and running. You became problem solvers by not wanting to get your parents involved.
Well,
Today, it's
you know
almost
what's
like you
fun?
have to teach problem solve. Like you're going, hey, what are you waiting on? You to go do this. Well, you can do it. It's like,
One
damn,
of my
wish I
most
did.
important life lessons happened when I was 14, and I got my mom had caught me drinking, right?
Okay.
And I had to go. I had a swim meet the next day in Danville, Illinois, and Dad was working at the Lincoln. So she was so mad. Like she was, after she slapped the shit out of me,
Right.
she said, "Your dad's taking you that swim meet in the morning. I'm not driving you over there. I'm so mad." I said, "Okay, whatever. I'm drunk. I pass out." So my
Right.
dad wakes me up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. We're driving over to Danville, and looking back at it, he probably worked all night long.
Sure.
Closed the bar down. Probably got home at 3:30 just to get yelled at.
Yeah.
We're driving over there, and he says, "How much did you have to drink last night?" And I said, "I don't know. I had 9 or 10 beers." And he said, "God damn." Go to your stupid parties, but don't get so messed up that your mom knows. She yelled at me this morning. And so it was like basically just don't let number one get in trouble.
Right.
Like if the person in charge is in trouble, everybody's in trouble.
Everybody said we're fucked.
Like,
Yeah.
just be responsible. Like, are you an idiot? Like,
That's
why am I getting
hilarious.
yelled at because you're dumb? That's a great
That's
lesson.
great. Valid point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like,
you
I don't
got the
want you
boss
driving
mad,
to
bro.
Danville.
Right. Yeah. I go to bed right now. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, I just got home and made myself some eggs. I was about to pass out, watched a little TV. Like,
Oh, so I asked a question and then I cut you off before you could answer it, which was 2000 I got to interrupt and real quick for a sponsor plug. This episode of Beyond Business is brought to you by Aerial Elite Solutions, your Midwest leader in drone-based thermal inspections, aerial data collection, aerial imagery. Whether it's solar fields, power lines, construction projects, or real estate, we provide high-quality imaging and data to keep your operations running smoothly. Visit flyaes.com to learn more. Beyond Business is also sponsored by Midwest Lightning Rods. When it comes to protecting your home or business from lightning strikes, trust the experts. They've got the installers and expertise to safeguard what matters most. Head over to lightningstrikes-weprotect.com for more details. This episode is being fueled by Best Friends Distillery, a local woman-owned distillery crafting fine vodka and rum right here in Argenta, Illinois. Raise a glass to quality spirits made with passion, and cheers to supporting local. Now let's jump back into the
he's like, I
you
don't
got the
want you
boss
driving
mad,
to
bro.
Danville.
Right. Yeah. I go to bed right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's like, I just got home and made myself some eggs. I was about to pass out, watched a little TV. Like,
So I asked a question and then I cut you off before you could answer it, which was 2030.
oh yeah.
What do you got?
How many stores?
Yeah.
Um, we would probably have between 5 and 8 stores at that time.
What's the end goal? Is there a number you want to get to, or you're like, I don't know. I mean, eventually, because you made a good point. Is it's almost like up to your third store, you're going to keep filling your own plate, but then you're going to get to a point where you can't because it's not possible. So you hire
Hmm.
someone, and then you kind
Hmm.
of free yourself up to maybe. I guess that's when you go find the other three stores, and then fucking,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the whole thing changes because you're not like I won't be there making dough in the morning, but I'll be there. I'll be at stores watching subcontractors
Yeah.
making sure they're doing their thing right.
Yeah.
Or I'll be looking at numbers, or you're talking to, you're talking to the bank to make sure that this side
Yeah.
is good or this side is good. Or at that point, especially if you get to the point where you're opening multiple stores in a year, if you're tied up with architects,
Yeah.
you're with engineers, you're fighting back and forth. You're looking for equipment because you're not going to buy all brand new equipment. It's
So do you have it? So it seems like if you walk into a Pappo's, any of them that exist right now, is there a familiarity of all of them that,
yeah,
like, do
yeah,
they
yeah.
get built out kind of the same idea?
So it's very interesting that you say that because Pappo just built Camdenton at the Lake of the Ozarks, and then we're building 7070, the Overland Park store. And so when he was building Camdenton, when he came and saw our store, we put this faux tin ceiling up. So you've been to the store in Osage. It's got
Yep.
a tin ceiling over the bar.
Yep.
It's like
I know
old
what you mean.
school, cool old building. So like kind of an homage to Osage Beach, we got this faux tin ceiling. So the first time Papo saw it, he said, "Oh, where'd you get that? Send me the number." So send him the number. So when he built Branson, he used that tile.
Ah,
So now like that's become like every time you walk into a new Papo's, it's going to have that tile over the bar. And
okay.
so there's four colors. There's a red, a black, a light gray, dark gray. And so those accent color, like the red is an accent color. It's usually on the back wall. There's car siding up to like 4 feet on every wall. So
Oh, oh.
there's a lot of wood, but it makes it feel
So,
very warm. And then there's black tile in the bathrooms that
well, I'm saying,
we're trying to get because it is still so new and it's just growing organically. And like you
yeah,
go into a second generation restaurant space, some stuff's already there. Like why change
right.
some things out. But if we have to change it out, it's going to be that tin ceiling. And it's still just this little. I mean, even though there's 14 stores, it's just this little baby still. You know,
Yeah. Because
because
14 does sound like that sounds like a lot, man.
but it's taken 12 years to get there. This first store opened in Springfield, Missouri, 12 years ago, and it's just this slow, organic
Yeah.
building of just making sure that the food is fresh and good and allowing the business to grow itself. And so the reason
Do
we came to
you
Kansas City,
does it is the place popular? Do you have to do much marketing, advertising, or is it like, no, it sells itself when we open, people come?
no, we've grinded a lot, and um, we spend a certain percentage of sales on marketing,
Yeah.
but and thank God for this, but Papo allows us to use um, we do fundraiser nights.
Oh
School
yeah, yeah, yeah.
something
Yep.
and we give 10% back. And so that we
Yeah.
use that money as our marketing money because there's nothing better than taking like actually tasting the pizza,
Right.
right? And
Yes.
so when we do those, we say, okay, look, we'll give you 10% of sales from 4 o'clock to close on whatever day, like on the Tuesdays that you come in. But we need you to like and share our page and then tag us in three things with your group. We got to be tagged 3 times that week before leading up to that. So we know you're doing your work to get people in.
Yeah.
And then that's how we grow our social media circle
That's
is
cool.
because they're tagging us and sending it out.
That's perfect. Well,
And
social
so
media, I mean, if you know how to utilize it, it's a pretty amazing advertising.
it,
Um,
you know what, it's both ways because it's great if you can like grow a business nice and easy,
yeah.
and it's coming
There's a lot of
along.
bullshit on there too, though.
If
Golly, man.
you go viral, the next thing you know, you got a line out the door and you can't keep up because
Right.
you don't have the product on hand.
Right.
It's like, whoo, we're winning. Oh,
Yeah.
we
Right.
died.
Right. I remember it was a few years ago. There was a pizza place in town. I can't even tell you the name of it. It opened for maybe a summer. Someone just took a stab at that over by La Gondola across from St. T. It's actually what's that fucking place? Del Carmen's is what it is now. Del Carmen's
Mhm.
East is across from St. T.
After it burned down.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But before it was something else. I was out playing ball at Rotary Park on one of the nights, softball nights, and it was when there was 5 fields, 10 teams. It was packed,
Hmm.
and they had just opened this pizza place, and this dude rolls up with like medium pizzas, but I mean a stack of them, and they all had like $10 pizza coupons on the top of the boxes. He just starts hitting all the fields. Here you
Yeah.
go, here you go. The problem was it sucked. Like it's like this is a perfect idea. This shit's fucking horrible. A bunch of
Yeah, you don't
hungry,
want to do
half
that.
drunk dudes and full pizza boxes. Like nobody wants that bullshit. I'm like, oh, that's great idea.
No follow
Bad.
through.
No follow through, man. This poor guy's going, well, I didn't make them. I just got told to bring them here. Meanwhile, people going, come get these fucking boxes, dickhead. Like, oh, bro. So, are you and Casey? Are you guys married? Or,
We are engaged. We're getting married next summer. Six
okay.
twenty one 26.
Oh, it's set. It's set in stone. All
Mm-hmm.
right. There you go. Um, well, dude, I think it's awesome. Of course, there was no part of me that thought you were gonna like be a Decatur local. Like I knew you were gonna go
You know,
find
the world,
somewhere to make some money somewhere. You know
the
what I'm
world,
saying?
yeah, the world's a crazy place, you know.
Well,
You
good for
don't know what's
you
gonna
though for
happen.
taking advantage, man. I mean, you
Yeah, I
could
mean,
have
you gotta take
you
some,
could be just a bartender, which
could be
wouldn't
just a
be bad
bartender.
either.
No, not at all. And I had a really when I after I left Northwestern Mutual and I went moved down to the to St. Thomas and then was going back and forth between St. Thomas and Lake of the Ozarks, and I'd work 5 months, have a month off, work 5 months, have a month off, and I would, I got back to see my family in Greece, and I'd be able to spend 2 or 3 weeks over there. I'd be able to hang out, come back to
Pretty
Decatur
cool
and see my
schedule.
mom. It was great, and I
Yeah.
lived in two beautiful places. And I
Yeah.
don't know how people are like, you mean you're just a bartender? Like I would be in St. Thomas, and they'd be like, because I was older, I was
Yeah.
in my 30s, and they would say, did you go to college? And I'd be like, yeah, I have a degree. And they were like, well, why are you bartending? And I was like, why did you vacation here? Because this is where I live. You see this? You see this view? This is where I work. This is my work. Like, who
Right.
are you to tell me that I've made bad decisions in my life because I don't use my degree?
Right. No. Good point is
And so, and
that's
and you never know what's going to happen because like,
it just takes balls, dude. I mean, that was
and
bold moves. You could have went to St. Thomas and it could have fucking sucked.
yeah, for sure. For
It
sure.
just
Or I
you
could
are
have been
the right
broke.
kind of person that it turned into being an
Hmm.
incredible move that led you to do it for years. Is that
And
how you ended up in the Ozarks? Is from being at St. Thomas and got
from
the
being in St.
invitation
Thomas. So I was one day I was walking down the street
in
and
St.
these
Thomas?
in St. Thomas and these two girls had like Jayhawk stuff on. And like I'm an
Yeah,
alumni. I'm like, hey, rock chalk. They're like Jayhawk. Well, it turns out that they worked at the bar across the street from me, and they go like we became friends over the next 2 or 3 years. It was these two girls that are twins, and they worked at the lake. They were like, "What are you doing this summer?" Because we know that they need bartenders at this bar that we work at. And I was like, "Oh, okay, like that might be interesting to do." And so I ended up like, just because those two girls were like, "Hey, the Lake of the Ozarks," and I was like, "Oh, that's actually not very far from Decatur. Probably be a good little gig." In both places, like I walked in when I got to St. Thomas, I walked in, I was like, "Hey, here's my resume." And the lady running the place was like, "I just had somebody no show, or like it's their third strike. I just had to fire somebody. Like you walked in on exactly the right day."
you're like,
I was like, yeah.
let's
And
go.
I had already been there like a month, like walking around this island trying to find a job. Like it was like a grind. Like you gotta go and you just
Oh,
grind.
oh,
So
so
then when I
you
got to,
did get at least a little taste of the what the fuck am I doing
oh yeah,
before
yeah,
you got on?
yeah.
Okay.
And then when I went to Lake of the Ozarks, I went down there. I'm still good friends with Brian Deering, and he had a place down there, and he was like, "Hey, why don't you come?" Like, I was talking to him, and he said, "Why don't you come with me, and we'll get on my boat, we'll drive around, and I'll show you some other places." And we got to this place, Paradise, walked up the stairs, and I was wearing a hat that had the Virgin Island flag on it. Somebody stopped me when we were talking about the Virgin Islands, and they said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I'm looking for a job." And he turned around, and the bar manager was there, and he said, "Hey, he's looking for a job." He said, "Can you be here Tuesday?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I had a guy no phone, no show. You got a job if you're here Tuesday." And then I was there for 4 years.
Yeah.
And so,
Oh,
it's
that's
just it's the right place, right time. Like he said, "Where did you work?" I work in the Virgin Islands. And
yeah.
those kinds of people, they all know each other.
Yeah.
And they know like if you go down there and work, you can hack it up here.
Right.
Or if you do it at the Lake of the Ozarks, you can go down there and hack it. Or go to Key West or go to,
Is it
Fort
slang? I
Myers.
mean, is it take? I mean, is it hard? Is it hard? I
Oh,
mean, it's pretty slam. Do you get
you're
nonstop shifts
busy.
and shit like that? Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you want to work 7 days a week, you work 7 days a week. Like
Oh,
and
so
and
you were, I mean, you potentially, of course, it's going to take all of your time, but you can go stack some money, no problem.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Because it's what the places you were going is pretty much where whoever is there today, it's their holiday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, right? As you're going,
We
yeah,
would
it's a
always
Tuesday
joke.
for me, but it's their fucking second day of vacation.
Yeah, we would always joke. There's the new group's coming in 4 days anyways. So like,
Oh,
why be pissed off at these people? Because in 4 days it's going to be a whole new
no
group
matter
of friends.
what.
Yeah,
Completely new. Yeah, that is crazy.
and you also like the other thing is you have to remember that this is those people's vacation. Like
Yeah.
you have to make their day great
Yeah. You
because they're
want
going to
them to
talk
have the
about
best
that.
time of their fucking life right
They
now.
may talk
Right.
about you for the next 10 years. In fact, Casey and I, Casey and I were out to dinner, and one of the things I do to try and grow our business is pharmaceutical reps because they
Yep.
cater doctors' offices. So I'm always like looking for pharmaceutical reps. Here's my card. Call us. We'll take care of you. So we were at dinner, and these people were sitting on a corner of a bar, and these people were talking about pharmaceutical sales. So then I ended up being like, "Hey, by the way, like we own this pizza place and here's our card if you ever need anything." And the girl looks at me and like she gets out her phone, she scrolls through it and she's like, "Is this you?" And it was me behind the bar in St. Thomas. And
Oh, hell no.
like her and all her little friends, like the group chat, they were like, "Oh my God, it's the bartender from St. Thomas." Because they had a great night that night.
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah.
so funny that you probably like influence people for years
Yeah.
just because you're doing a good job. Just do a
Right.
good job. And
But
people will
it's an
be
option, right? So you've
Mhm.
seen people decide the
that
other
they want to
route.
be pissed off when they come into
Yeah, to
work.
where it's like,
Like, what
yeah,
are you
this,
doing, man? Why
yeah,
are you
yeah.
angry? We're gonna work for 6 hours. We're gonna walk out of here with $500 cash, and
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 these
we're
people
gonna
are going to
go.
have they want to have a great time. It's up
They
to us
want to.
to,
They're here
yeah,
with money they want to give us money to make them smile, and then in the morning we're gonna wake up and we're gonna go snorkeling and we're gonna see an
right,
octopus. It's gonna be
right,
great.
right,
Like,
right. Perspective, man. Well, you just took advantage. I mean, in one sense, it kind of sounds like, yeah, right place, right time. But if you made yourself be in the right place all the
yeah,
fucking time until
yeah,
something fell through, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It wasn't just a lucky hookup or, you know what I mean? I think it was, yeah, be good at your job. It's
yeah,
funny because there's, there really is like no, my kid is sophomore in high school. So it's our like we're starting to talk like career types, just light conversations, and
yeah.
it's like, yeah, to go, dude. You might have good ideas, you might be smart, but there's nothing I've found so far, or anybody that I know has found that replaces the fucking reps you got to put in.
hmm
You know what I mean? You got to learn lessons. You got to be broke. I don't know. Maybe you don't, but it's almost like the grind and the struggle. It seems consistent with literally the variety of different businesses that people are in. Everyone has the same thing, which is, yeah, you couldn't have this conversation with me when I was 28 because I was fucking a mess and broke trying
Yeah.
to get even close to where I'm at. You know what I
I
mean?
thought, when I was 28, I probably thought I was the greatest bartender of all time.
Right.
And
He was
you
in
know,
cocktails, baby.
I did a really good job, but I didn't have like all the other pieces of that puzzle.
Yeah.
They were growing in there.
Sure.
You
Sure.
think I was figuring it out. I did, my dad and my uncle were great mentors because, they had a restaurant that did, a bar restaurant that did very well.
Right.
And, unfortunately, my dad passed away young, and so I didn't get to like really pick his brain on certain
Right.
things. Um, and so then you got to learn those lessons yourself. But then I've always worked for really great people also. And so like on the islands, Glenn Melbourne he owns this place, Island Time Pub, and he does a great job. And he's so restaurant smart, and not only restaurant smart, like he's life smart.
Right.
Like, if I call him and I've got questions for him, he'll steer me in the right direction. And then when I was at the lake, I work for these two brothers, the Tucker brothers, and I went and saw George not too long ago, and I said, "Hey, I want to pick your brain as you're like looking for new locations. What are some of the things that you worry about, or you look at, or you think about?" And um, he's more than happy to talk to me. We
Right.
never left on bad terms. It's always, you know, I'm just moving on to something different, and so
Right.
it's all good. You know what he told me? He's like, west facing windows are always annoying because the sunset.
Huh.
He's right. Because when
Really?
you're in the restaurant business, that west facing window, man, that sun's beating down on you when you're sitting there eating. He's like
True
west facing.
story. That's crazy. You wouldn't think about it until you walk out and see someone with that sun in their face repeatedly.
Until you have to deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
And then in store, he's like storage. He's like, you just need more storage. No matter how much is there, you need more. That's
Right. Right.
west facing
Right.
windows and storage.
Well,
So
dude, I appreciate you getting on here with me. I've been wanting to catch up with you anyway, just because
yeah, it's
I
fun.
didn't really know exactly what the story was, but you're killing it, dude.
We're jamming right along. I've
That's
got
what's
a
up,
great
man.
partner.
Does life feel good?
Yeah, man, I can't complain. We moved up here, and
You're
when I
not
told my
capable
mom,
of having idle time. I feel like even if you had a, if Casey introduced you to the new head manager of your stores right when you got off this Zoom call, you'd be like, "So what are we open? What are we doing then?"
yeah,
Because I,
let's go do something. Like we got to
yeah,
go do something
yeah.
for sure.
Does that manager need somebody that I'll work for him?
Put me on payroll.
I need a job, right?
Can I make $16 an hour?
But
No,
no, it just you don't strike me as someone who would, at least at this point, sit still by any means.
no. It's there's constantly something that needs to be done right now that I'm not paying somebody else to do.
Right.
Like building tables for a patio or something. Although we actually did we did a deal with Lee Summit North High School. The shop class built these. I built one picnic table. I said, "This is what I want these to look like sturdy, like 6 by 6 legs,
Yeah.
farm style." And so they did this whole project, and they made 9 tables for us. And
No shit.
I went in there like right before it was done, and I said, "Hey, you guys, before you lacquer these, before you put any poly on them or anything, make sure you sign the tables because I
Right.
want you guys to remember that you did this." And that was, last fall when they showed up. And just the other day, I was there, and this kid was like walking around, like looking at them and like
Trying to.
pointing. He was with his grandparents, and he was
Hell,
so
hell yeah.
like to be like, "I built this
Did
table."
they do good?
Yeah, they're solid.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's a good idea, actually. Reach out to the
It was
school and say,
it was a win for everybody because I got these like sturdy made tables. Like I donated the wood and I gave them a pizza party.
yeah.
And these kids got to plan out how to make these tables and build them and
Yeah.
then bring them to like they get to see like their work actually then ends up making money someplace else.
Well, I guess that's another thing. If you take the more stores you add, right? If you need to throw together two tables and two benches, that's okay. But if you do that times six, then you're like, I gotta fuck get somebody to put together some shit.
Right, right,
I
yeah,
mean,
for sure.
yeah, yeah. uh,
Or
no,
like it's
that's
just always like, okay, like this shelf needs to get put up. Like I'm gonna go do that right now.
right.
But once there's 10 stores, I'll have that guy. you know?
Right. That he
Like
has a list of shit everywhere, nonstop shit needs done. So,
so like the our we have these very fancy ovens that are stone hearth, which is the reason it's so good, but they're conveyor stone. So like you see conveyor ovens, like if you go into Domino's, it's a little conveyor like on a
uh-huh.
mesh. Well, ours are stone. So the stones are actually moving. So
Okay.
they're super cool, but they need some maintenance. And so like once a month, you got to go in there, you got to take them apart, you got to do some scrubbing, you got to oil and you got to oil the inside, you got to grease these little it's just maintenance, right?
Yeah.
Right now I do that. I'm not going to be doing that in the future. You know,
Right.
I'm gonna have my guy that has a little truck that has everything he needs to not only do the ovens, but then he'll have an air compressor to blow out all of the refrigeration. He's also
Right.
gonna be the guy that cleans the 32 lines, the beer lines, because beer lines got to get cleaned every 2 weeks. And so he's gonna have his schedule. And when he shows up at a store, there'll probably be
He's
something
going
that
to
says,
go through it.
hey, this, the toilet in this one is that, it's jiggly.
Right.
That guy will know how to fix the jiggle.
Right.
So
Right.
he's going to go in, he's going to oil the ovens, he's going to clean the tap lines, he's going to fix the jiggle, and he's done
He's
for
the
the
man.
day.
Yeah, that's a
And
good
that's
idea.
and that's the guy. And when you have 10 stores, you have that guy and he has his own little truck. And so you're like, here you go.
Well, it's kind of cool that you have the Pappo himself. He's personally done what you're doing, right?
Hmm.
He's got
Yeah.
half a dozen stores or so
Yeah.
or whatever. And it's like, oh,
And it's funny because people are like, well, Pappo doesn't do anything. And you're like, you don't realize how much Pappo does on the backside that you don't see, or like
yeah, it's a
for
different
case,
kind of doing stuff too. I mean, what, because he's
yeah,
not fucking
he
changing
did
out
make,
kegs and rolling dough. That's fucking irrelevant.
but he did do that. He did
Yeah.
make the first 6 weeks of that store in Springfield, he made every single pizza for 6 straight weeks. Like,
Right.
but it was
Well,
just this little
same with
tiny
you though. It's
store.
your time is, it sounds kind of fucked up, but your time is significantly more valuable than
Than
your
making
guy who
pizza.
makes pizzas time.
Yeah. Well,
Just
not only that, but like if I'm in the mindset of I need to make these pizzas, then I can't grow. And like to your point earlier, if I can't grow, I can't help other people grow.
right.
I can't create more for other people also. Because
Yeah.
not everybody's going to go and take that risk. That's the hardest part about being an entrepreneur is the risk. Like the fact that you're like, you know what, I got this, and if I
Yeah.
fail, I'm not going to
Fuck it.
fail because I'm going all in. Like
Right. Not an option.
I'll make sure that this works
Yeah.
because if it's not,
Because
like
it has to.
yeah, it has to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I have a child that needs we got to put gas in the car to take this child to school.
Right. Right. Well, and so I think there was a dude and he actually did it, who a few years ago, he had worked, he had been like maintenance at ADM, and then he worked for like Taika, and then he worked for, the dude knows HVAC very well.
Hmm.
He built homes with someone who's very skilled, has everything it takes to start his own like company if he wanted to just do little home repair type deal. And I was encouraging him to do it, right? And he's just like, yeah, I got two kids that are young, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're naming reasons why you will succeed, not
Right.
reasons why you shouldn't do it. And
Except, but
I'll be damned, it was like within 4 or 5 months, he did
yeah,
it. The fucker lost about 30 pounds in the first 2 months and he was like stressed to the max. And
yeah.
then he got over that hump and now he's fucking loving life. You know what I mean? But what that was it though. Is he goes, you talk about a risk. Like my wife told me she will exit with my children if we don't have paychecks.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 for sure.
Got me
And
fucked up, stud.
that like anxiety level for some people, like I know guys that work in restaurants can do both sides. Like they can do front of house, they can do back of house. They're great. Uh, Terrified, terrified of putting themselves on the line. They'd
Oh
rather
yeah.
just go in, get that check, and go home, which is fine. That's great.
It takes all kinds. I mean, it takes
Mhm.
them. Well, if they didn't exist, then we're fucked.
Yeah, well then everybody would
You know?
just have their own restaurant and nobody would
Yeah,
be
yeah,
cooking
yeah.
pizza. You're like, how come this
Make the
isn't
own
working?
pizza that you're going to eat, motherfucker. That's it. Well, but there's been a lot of times where it's like, man, I don't think it's a choice. Again, I think at some point you were not going to just work.
Hmm.
You know what even as a bartender, I mean, it was almost like a freelance subcontractor type. It wasn't like you were going and you were at
No,
B
like
Dubs as
my
their fucking bartender or whatever. It was
my whole life, my mindset has been ownership, which is why
right
like when I did work for somebody else, they loved me working for them
because you
because
treated it, valued it.
I took that stuff on. But there's, I was working at Paradise and somebody had said something to one of the owners. They were like, well, Kostaki does this. And they were like, he can do whatever he wants. Like, don't
It's
worry about that.
relevant. Yeah, yeah,
That guy, that guy is making us money. We're good with whatever he has to do.
right.
But and then that makes you feel good. But it's because you had the ownership mindset from day one. Like, I
Right.
want to do this. I got this kid working for me right now that's he may have just turned 16, but he drew like his own restaurant like on a piece of paper and said like when he was 14 years old, like this kid's he's gonna do something if he's gonna be great,
Right.
and we try to mentor him in the right direction and say these are the steps you have to take. But he drew this he drew this restaurant out. He had all the seats and everything. I said, this is really great. Here's all your seats and everything. I was like, you see this little square back here in the back where you have kitchen? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, how is that little kitchen going to feed all of these tables? You don't have the kitchen is half of your restaurant. Like,
Right.
but he was so cute because he's like 14. He already has that ownership mentality. You want
Yeah.
salad? He crushes. Like he's back there making his salads, doing the cookies. He's jamming right along because he wants to own his own place. And he knows this is a means to an end. Like
I
he's gonna
just,
do something.
but you can't. So I want so bad, dude. Like I throw all kinds of breadcrumbs in front of my son. I want him to bite. He's a academic, which is
Mhm.
weird to me.
He'll get
You know
there.
what I
I mean,
Yeah, you're good at school
yeah.
and you're really good at it. So I can't even fucking,
Yeah.
you know, but I'm like to have something like that to where you have a young, even like these young ladies I'll see that like are making jewelry and selling
Hmm.
it. It's like, you guys know you're geniuses, I hope. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you just got a little earring making kit, but one of these girls' dad told me like his daughter made like 15 grand in a year selling fucking earrings she was making in her oven. And I'm like, as a teenager, I'm like, God,
Right.
but yeah,
My dad wanted me to be an academic. He was always like, you need to go to school. You need to, because that's what you want for your kids. Like after you grind, like your hands hurt,
yes, yes, yes.
It's because we've built our whole lives. My dad, he was like, you need to go to school. You need to be a banker so you could sit at a desk and you don't have to grind like that. But it wasn't in
Right.
that's not my DNA right now. That might be,
Again, that was the time shift, though, as we were in the time that sounded from a parent standpoint. That's the best advice ever. Let my kid have an easier life, better
yeah.
life than I had,
An
you
easy
know,
life and make more money than I've made while I'm out there. Like I'm at the
up
Lincoln
there
Lounge
busting my
3
ass.
o'clock in
Yeah.
the morning. I'm buffing the floors because that's what it takes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't want your kids to do that. You want and then it's like, well, actually, that's what I do want, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do. And you wish, like for me, my dad passed away in '03. I wish my dad was around in 2030 to be like,
Right.
oh wow, like
Yeah.
you've created a little empire.
Well,
So,
you're being able to reference the stuff that you learned from your dad is like something for everyone to keep in mind. It's like the things that kids advice and stuff like that that sticks. You know
mhm,
what I mean? No matter,
mhm.
years later or whatever. It's like, oh man, kids are impressionable as hell. I'm bad at like I chose work over being a better parent quite a bit. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
And I think I let the excuse be my kid's mom's the bomb. He's getting loved like a motherfucker. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it's fine.
She's got that
You
handled. I
got
don't need
that.
to worry about that. Let me go make the money.
But then it goes, oh yeah, but what about that whole example of a human dude I'm supposed to be to him?
Mhm.
So it was like sitting there having a conversation and going, okay, so let me tell you a story about what you're supposed to be seeing. I know you're
Yeah,
not seeing it, but this is what you're supposed to be seeing. And you're not seeing
yeah,
it because I'm not doing it, but I'm supposed to. And he kind of got it. He was like, it's one of them where I'm sitting down, I need to talk to you, son. And he's like, I get it. You're busy. So it's fine. Give a shit.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
It's the cats in the cradle. You know,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
you want to do. Hey, do you want to go play? I would love to, but I'm too busy right now.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
It's like that's that work-life balance and making sure that like I don't miss my kids' soccer games. Like
Right.
you show up for those things, and
Because true
um,
balance isn't a thing, but it's priorities, right? Or you
there's
go,
priorities.
I'm prioritizing my kid's game. That's it. I'm
Mhm.
going. Give a fuck what's
Yeah.
going on. Yeah.
We started, like when we open this next restaurant, it'll be that first month will be a 100% grind, right?
Yeah.
But every Wednesday night is family dinner. And we go over to my sister's house, my sister, my brother-in-law, her kid, my mom comes over. We're there. Like we don't miss like family dinner night's important. Like
Yeah.
so the very first day that I will take off once we open this restaurant would be family dinner night.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm there like from open to close when we first open up. But
Yeah.
that first time, because that priority is we got to get back to family dinners.
So is there dread at all, or are you just absolutely pumped?
I was always
Because obviously, whenever opening day comes, it's like, here goes. I'm about to check in for the next fucking couple months. But that's also got to be
it's
awesome
a
because
grind. It's yeah. I mean, as a true entrepreneur, that's
that's
the
the
best
pinnacle.
high that you get. Like,
Hell yeah.
let's do this and let's show the people exactly what we got, and we're going to put out a great product, and every people are going to be happy. I mean, I tell, like I've told my staff like many times, like if you're having a bad day, especially the guys in the back, like if you're having a bad day, just go out and look at the people's faces that are eating our food. Like they're loving it.
Yeah.
And you did that. Like
You
you
made
made that
somebody's day.
food. You
Yeah.
made
Yeah.
somebody's day, whether you know it or not. You made those chocolate chip cookies that somebody's eating with their kid watching a movie, like, and they're just like, "Oh my God, thank God you got Pappo's." Like, and I hear it more, and Casey hears it more because we're owners. Like the staff doesn't really hear it that
Right.
often, and we hear it all the time. But I tell, like, you try to pass that on and tell them, like, you should appreciate what we're doing because we do put out a great product, which is
Right.
that's the deal, like put out a great product and you're going to be successful, you
Right. You
know?
can't sell bullshit
Yeah.
forever.
I mean,
Right. Right. Right.
you're not going to, it's not just it's great product equals success, but without the great product, there's not going to be success.
Right. Right.
McDonald's, like to your point at the very beginning, when McDonald's first started, that shit was probably top notch all day long.
Right. Right.
You know what I heard that's funny about McDonald's? You know the Big Mac song, "To All Beef Patties."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know why they can say that?
Uh-uh.
Because McDonald's owns the company that makes the patties, and the company is called All Beef. So they say "to all beef patties" because it's the company. They're not 100% beef.
Oh, that's just the name of the company.
That's the name of the company. We use "to all beef patties."
Yeah.
Genius.
Great. All beef patties that make soy burgers. What the fuck? It is genius. And what they said is, well, the McDonald's story about the guy's like, I'm not a cheeseburger guy. I'm a real estate guy. I want,
Yeah.
and like the Burger King guy goes, I just want to be down. I know I'm only going to get 10% of what Ronald gets, but I'm good with
Yeah.
that 10%.
Yeah. I'll take it all day long.
I'll take it all day long. Yeah. Well, it's fucking crazy because food is like one of probably the biggest, just dopamine releases,
Mhm.
enjoyable. I mean, I think as a lot of a population, I mean, when you guys go on vacation somewhere, when you get checked in, what are you searching? what new restaurants you haven't tried or in the area. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, 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 for sure. That's
good
exactly what
food is
that's what
fucking,
exactly
yeah.
what you're looking for.
So to be able
Um,
to go, there's so many shitty pizza places because they're trying to give, let's make sure they can get a $5 fucking Little Caesar. It's like, this shit's garbage.
Awful. It's awful, and it's awful for you, and you don't feel good after
Yeah.
you eat it either. So
No.
that's so we use unbleached, unbrominated flour, so it hasn't had all the nutrients stripped out of it. So even when you get our hand tossed pizza, you don't have that full feeling because it's like the nutrients are in the. You don't feel sick or bloated afterwards. It's
Ah.
actually it's a good product, and so it's. I wouldn't say that pizza like I wouldn't say it's like a health food, but you want to talk
No.
about healthy pizza, it's all natural. Everything is good inside of it. And so,
Right, right, right.
but one of my
Well,
favorite questions is whenever I'm in some place, whenever I go someplace new, um, I'll go in like you walk into a bar and ask the bartender, if you only had 1 hour in this town, where would you eat? And they'll tell you the best place.
oh yeah. It's a good one.
Hmm.
It is
And
a
they'll
good
be
one.
like, "Oh, you got to go have,
The ribs, blah blah blah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah." Or
Yeah.
this cheeseburger is amazing over here, or this like if you've never had a prime rib sandwich, this is the place. Like that's what they're
Right.
known for. And then you're gonna find the mom and pop joint that does something really phenomenal. And so,
So would you guys think about coming this way at all? Since you guys both got family over this direction in Illinois or no?
well, not really because like our like
West?
we're going north and west,
Okay.
and Pappo is going east
Okay.
because so Pappo owns all of central Missouri because he
What's the
basically
closest one to us?
uh
O'Fallon?
um did he just I think he signed a lease in O'Fallon, but the closest one to you would be Fairview Heights.
Oh, Fairview Heights. That's right. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I meant, not O'Fallon. Or did you say O'Fallon earlier? I thought maybe you said O'Fallon.
I didn't, but he signed a lease in the St. Louis area down there. Some
Okay.
I can't ever remember. I think it
Those
was
areas are popping too. That Troy and St. Jacob and all that O'Fallon,
yeah,
Fairview Heights. Yeah. There's
yeah, they're jamming.
they got a lot of money around there too.
I know,
Um,
but nobody works, and so I don't get it.
what the fuck? Swear. And they're doing nothing but building homes and people are moving in. I'm going, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah.
And then when you have a really
Somebody
good
knows
idea,
a
and you have
secret. I need to start opening my things I think are junk email. Maybe someone's sending out the fucking solution. I just did not read it. Like, wait, did I just pay people?
you're like,
I go
hey,
through people. I go through people a lot too. Yeah. I'm not easy to work for though. I know that. I understand.
have you had John Erickson on this yet?
Um
He owns the Jimmy John's J3.
the attorney?
Oh no, his brother.
Oh, okay. No, but I would like to. John Erickson. Huh? I'm going to write that down.
Wait, John is the attorney. Who's the?
Yeah, who is the guy? Because John is
It's
the
his brother.
attorney. I'll
It's his
find
brother,
that.
but it's J3 is the company. Anyways, he, he owns a ton of Jimmy John's, and he's like, if somebody would just show up for 6 months, I would make them a manager of a store. Like
Just be here.
he has trouble finding people and keeping people, and he's like, all you got is show up, just show up for 6 months. You would be running a store and making a great living.
But dude, I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine like the restaurant business is hard, extremely hard to me in my
Yeah.
mind. Like very hard. Just because you're essentially making your money a buck to 10 at a time.
Yeah.
Although it's nonstop, it's hard because there's so many people that have to be happy.
Well, I
Again,
think
that's the industry.
but to expand, you just got to make sure that the people that answer to you do a really good job. So
Right.
whether like if it was 5 stores, I'm really only talking to one person
Right. Right.
daily, and that person's talking to those 5 people. If we had 20 stores, I'm talking to 4 people on the daily, but they're talking to 20
Yeah.
GMs. And then we're having a Zoom meeting like once every 2 weeks with everybody.
Right.
Like this screen would be 20 different little things, and you're saying, all right, these are the numbers. This store, you did great here. You need to work on this. And so you want to
Yeah.
make sure that everybody has what they need to be great.
I think an important thing that you're doing And a lot of people don't, because in your mind you want to save money because it's a new business or whatever. Is you do have to pay if you want people to stay. If you don't want to
Hmm.
keep wasting $14 an hour, then you got to pay $18 an hour. I mean, or
Hmm.
whatever it is. You know what I mean? People notice
I'd,
that,
I'd rather I'd rather pay one guy 20 than two guys 14.
right? And him give a fuck about that 20.
And they will, and they'll be
Yeah.
happy, they're like, oh, I get paid really well to come in here and do this. I don't care about washing some dishes at the end of the shift.
Yep. Yep.
Like, I
Yep.
was here to
Yep.
make pizzas, but I'll clean some of this up too.
Well,
So
you're cut perfectly from the cloth to be able to roll with. I mean, you deal with people. You're a pretty good people person, and you seem to have the new trend. At least you're aware of how, yeah, this sensitivity ages. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
they're like, whoa, it's me. You're like,
Yeah,
listen, dude, whoa, it's not you. You're fine. I saw the car you pulled up in. You're good to go.
you are great. Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Your parents are paying your tuition. I know.
you're fine. Right. All right, dude. Well, I'm going to let you get on with your day. I appreciate
Awesome.
you
Well, thanks for
chatting
having
with me,
me.
man. Yeah, it was
Yeah, it was
awesome to talk.
fun.
I'll well, I got your number now at least, so I'll at least send unimportant random videos to the right number.
Perfect.
But all right, dude. Well, it was a pleasure. Hey, congrats, man. You seem like you're killing it. Definitely going to
Thanks.
keep tabs, and when I'm that direction, I'm gonna get me some pappos.
There you go. Love it.
All right, dude, man. Miss you. Happy for you. Take care of yourself, and yeah, we'll catch you soon.
Awesome.
All right,
See ya.
brother. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sticking out another episode of Beyond Business. As a matter of fact, that was episode 71. The episode was brought to you by Aerial Elite Solutions, your Midwest leader in drone services of all kinds. Also, Midwest Lightning Rods, lightning protection design and installation specialists specializing in protecting your home, assets, and family during the storm season. Reach out to lightningstrikes-weprotect.com for more details. And another big shout out to Best Friends Distillery, locally owned, woman-owned distillery, making great vodka, great rum right here in town. You need to, if you're a Bacardi or a Tito's sipper, you need to give these a shot next time you're around. They carry it at all the liquor stores. And let's raise a glass to quality spirits made with passion right here. Cheers to supporting local, and cheers to you guys for joining me for episode 71. We'll catch you in 5 days. Till then, be kind to each other.
Yo, we on business. Yo, we out here hitting that grind. Podcast vibes letting loose, unwind. Next on the mic, yeah, he flexing with pride. Meeting dope souls, taking you on a ride. Talking about life, not just that paper. Doing it big, ain't no time for a hater. People yap behind his back, but we rise like the sun. Gather around, fam, we just having some fun. Beyond business, it's a vibe, feel that thrill, getting intimate. May even get your heart filled. Meeting the legends, those raw and real. Digging deep thoughts, show you how to feel. From the block to the boardroom, we making that move. Beyond business, baby, yeah, we got the groove. Shout out to the hustlers, the real street thugs. We all eat together, no need for the drugs. Yeah, you blessed with the gift, determined to thrive. Nick's breaking it down, keeping that fire alive. Let's go deep like the ocean, no bluff. Beyond business, baby, we can't get enough.